The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. on Monday morning. Don't blink this morning, folks. You may miss it all. Quite a market we've got indeed. We're, of course, on the tail end of the presidential election. You had President-elect Biden on Saturday night making his speech. We come into the morning, and we get news from Pfizer. Pretty strong news, folks. Check out this market. We get the S&P up 4.4. Did I lose you? No? Are we good? Okay. I heard some weird sound there. Perfect. We got the S&Ps up 4.4% right now. We get the NASDAQ. How about the NASDAQ? Barely hanging on to gains. NASDAQ was negative. We'll pull over some of those work-from-home stocks. Pulling back today, as you might expect. The airlines dramatically higher. Why not just jump right in? How about the Dow? 1,600 points. We're almost up. And the Russell. We're limit up, is that? I believe it is. Russell's limit up at 7%. You see it ticking across. We haven't seen this in a while, folks. This was becoming the standard. I had never seen this on the chart prior to COVID, where the market just ticks across because it cannot trade more than 7% in the futures market above where it was. Russell's stuck at 7%. That means it's even it's higher than that. In the true, where supply equals demand, the Russell getting a big pop. And we got to jump over to the news. We got to jump over to the headline. If you haven't seen it, folks, how about a 90% possible effective rate? That was really going to be the question here. You got a lot of vaccines moving through the pipeline. The question was going to be, there was assumed to be some efficacy going to be coming from these, but you really needed 50, 60%, hopefully 75% effectiveness. And man, Pfizer, 90% possible. Getting into the raw numbers of this, folks, we're talking about tens of thousands of people. So the findings are based on an interim analysis, not quite done yet, but interim analysis. 94 participants split between those who got the placebo and those who were vaccinated. Contracted the COVID-19. So you have 94 participants in the trial contracting COVID. The trial is going to continue until 164 cases have occurred. If the data holds up and key safety readouts are expect what they should be, it means the world had a vital new tool to protect us all from this pandemic. I'm just jumping all over the place for the amount of people. It was tens of thousands of people, folks, that were in here in terms of the amount of data in here and what they have. I'm jumping around. Let me pull this article over here as well, because I want to get the real numbers in terms of the amount of people that they had in here. Here we go. The analysis evaluated 94 cases of infections among the trial's 43,538 participants, okay? And the real key here is that the case split between vaccinated individuals and those who receive a placebo indicated a vaccine efficacy rate of above 90%. Pretty remarkable, folks. That news hitting the tape, and it's not stopping. Look at this. We're making new highs here. We get the S&Ps up 4.6%. We're going to open at all-time highs in the S&P. Not bad, folks. And this Russell, 115 points stuck there. That thing is going to pop on the open as well. All right, jumping around to some commodities. You want to see a pop in oil. How about 11% almost? Crude reaching 41.33. You back this up in crude, folks. How about just to what is this date we're talking about? November 1st, 8 days ago. We started off last week. We were pretty much in the low 30s range. Quite an acceleration in crude. Now, here's something I want to show you. When you put crude on a daily, folks, pretty remarkable. I took this line off the chart. I had a line. Well, I'll put it back on my chart until this morning because it was getting in the way of some of the shorter time frame charts I was looking at. 41.05, folks, is a price that crude has been basically navigating around since June 8th. We make it up to 40.44. We've been oscillating pretty close to that $41 price point. You have traded lower on a couple equations. Look at that price, folks, 41.05. right back to that level. Now, if you remember, that was the low prior to the weekend that the Saudis came out, repriced oil, and sent that market into hysteria, ended up in negative prices, and we're right back. 41.05, but man, quite a pop in some of these commodities. You got to love it, man. This economy gets rocking and rolling. We get airlines back in the mix. We get everything back in the mix. We get a 90% effective vaccine, folks. It's pretty encouraging just for humanity. I'll jump over to that in a moment. In terms of the Pfizer CEO, I was texting people today, my loved ones, just talking about this is a great step for humanity, folks. Markets aside, as a trader, I was excited for this morning's show. You think I'll have enough to talk about in the next 25 minutes? Man, but as a human being living on planet Earth in the year 2020, pretty exciting news because this thing, it is dragging. There's a lot of fatigue. We got cases through the roof, folks. Be careful out there because there is an endpoint. This morning shows it. Do not get fatigued and allow yourself to grow tiresome of this difficult, putting it very lightly, right? Difficult situation we're all in. Sometimes to change our lives in such dramatic fashion. But this morning, giving hope that many of us have had, stay strong in what you're doing, social distance, wear a mask, do not become fatigued because this will be over, okay? And this, the market, it's trading like it for the first time that we've had. How about notes and bonds? Down 20 ticks. Now, pretty interesting. We are right back to basically the lows that we made on election night. We traded all the way up to 139.08. You got the 10-year down 21 ticks at 137.28. You're looking at a 10-year yield of how about 0.92%? Quite a yield on the 10-year. And the VIX, excuse me, as you may expect, 23. Talk about selling off after the election. What a trade this would have been, folks, right? You sell the VIX into the election. All the volatility priced ahead of it. You sell the VIX, and, man, we dropped from $38 to $23. You think we could get a 19 handle at some point today? Man, it's possible with the way that this market is rocking and rolling. 36.66, the high, 36.56 we're talking about. We're trading at right now, and you're up 4.4%. Some context on the S&P, like you need it. But, man, we're going to jump right above all of these all-time highs, folks. The all-time high we're talking about there, 35.30. Yeah, we're going to open about 130 points above that price level. Talk about blowing away the highs, folks. Pre-COVID, you're talking about only a price point of about 3,400. So you're going to be 250 points above where we were prior to COVID. Keep things in context here. This is great news, but should the entire market be, now we're talking about you're at 3,400 in February. We're 250 points above that level. You're talking about 5, 6, 7%. We're going to be above pre-COVID market prices. Man, just accelerations all over the place. All right, what do we start off in terms of equities this morning? We got earnings this morning. How about McDonald's? You want to talk about a good day? McDonald's, good day to be in the market in general. But guess what, folks? Man, they are crushing it. Look at that acceleration on their earnings. So trading higher, of course, with the market, but trading higher on their earnings. From 216.56 last week, we're trading at almost 228 this morning, and I'll pull up their earnings as we come into this break. I'll pull them up after the commercial, but we got about 4% same-store sales from McDonald's. Strong company, keeping it alive, doing well during this pandemic with their delivery and with the drive-thru that they have as well. All right, folks, buckle up. It's going to be a wild one out there. S&P's up 4.6%. The Dow is up 1,675 points. We going to get a 30,000 print this morning? We just might. Stay tuned, folks. Be right back.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. These markets, they're just staying strong. We got the S&Ps making new highs. We're currently 36.67. You're up almost 4.8%, and we're about to hit it. We did hit it. 30,000, folks. There it is. Commercial break, 100 points in this market. Pretty remarkable. There's your print, folks. 30,000 on the dot. The Dow up almost 2,000 points, 1,782 points right now. Remarkable. I can't wait to see where this Russell pops, folks. It's been stuck. 5, 7% in the positive, and you're going to see that pop on the open for sure. Some of the stocks that are accelerating, as you may expect, on news of a vaccine. How about the airlines? American Airlines up more than $3 for an $11.46 stock. How about Delta? Delta shares up about $6 and change right now at $37.82 domestically. JetBlue, JBLU is their symbol. You're trading up about $2. I mean, these are huge moves for, $12 stock up to $15 initially, $14.56. The cruise lines, as you may expect, Royal Caribbean from $58 and change to $73 and change. How about a $15 pop for them? They're up about 25%. Norwegian from 17 to 22, just huge moves, as you may expect. All right, we talked about McDonald's with their earnings out this morning, spiking to 230. They just began their conference call right now. They're trading at about 228, getting into the numbers for McDonald's. Let me pull this up. Here we go. So I want to get same-store sales in the U.S., this is, rising 4.6% for the quarter. A strong number. International still lagging on them. They had earnings with a beat of 222. Market was looking for $1.90. Revenue just above at 5.42 versus 5.4. Where are we getting into? Yeah, so excluding gains from the sale of its shares in McDonald's Japan and other items, 222. Net sales dropped 2% to $5.42 billion. So global same-store sales fell 2.2% for the quarter, dragged down by slower recovery of its international markets. Excuse me. But the U.S. reported same-store sales growth 4.6, fueled by a strong September. They had the Travis Scott promotion. Maybe you saw some of the social media having to do with that, taking the the orders by storm there, the launch of its limited time spicy nuggets. They're doing a lot. Very innovative, McDonald's. That's one of the reasons I had a trade in them last week in my newsletter. And they delivered in a big way this morning. We'll see where they go off of their earnings call. We'll see where they go off the open. I already sent an update out to subscribers. I mean, this morning could be a morning like none other, folks, in terms of not often. I've never lived through a pandemic. I've never lived through the morning of the news. And I said it even last week. We're coming up to the area. I said, they expect that we're going to get news by end of year, that we're going to get these vaccine trial news. We're going to start getting them. And someday, I said, nothing's guaranteed in life or in this market. But someday we're going to get news that really provides some details, some real math you can chomp your teeth onto, right? That we might be able to get out of this thing, some hope. And it looks like hopefully this morning is that morning. You're seeing the market react in pretty dramatic fashion. All right, let's jump around to some of the different equities that are moving this morning. All right, we'll start it off with the two of them, Pfizer and BioNTech. As you may imagine, accelerating higher. There's your Pfizer acceleration from 36.40. You're up to above 42 right now. I believe it's BNTX. Is that right, BioNTech? Yes, it is. BNTX is their symbol, up to 115 from 92. There's your acceleration in a big way. We talked about McDonald's earnings, and then, of course, all the airlines and the cruise ships trading higher. Canopy Growth. They're up with their numbers as well. Smaller loss than the market was looking for. CGC is their symbol. You're trading higher with the market this morning. And what you're really seeing is you had a spike to 27.25. They're out with their numbers. It looks like just after 6 in the morning. They did lose less than the market was looking for. Got to love the Thinkorswim platform. You scroll right over it. Seems like they lost about 7 pennies. Yes, they lost 7 cents. The market was looking for a loss of almost 23 cents. They'll have their conference call at some point. Greater than expected revenue for the quarter, benefiting from cost cuts as well as a greater number of people using its products amid the pandemic. So they're up trading higher this morning. Party City out with their numbers. Adjusted profit, 10 cents a share. Market was looking for a loss of 32. Who's at Party City? I'm not at Party City. Somebody's at Party City, though, because they're making 10 cents a share versus losing 32. Revenue above forecast. Seems like October for Halloween went well. Whether you're out trick-and-treating or not, I said it, no reason you can't have some good decorations, get some candy, get some costumes, keep the kids at home. We had some fun at home, just kids knocking on doors in the houses instead of being outside. Party City, what is their symbol? Let's see. PRTY, of course. And there you see a pop from 240 up to 333, percentage-wise huge. You're talking about more than a 20% pop this morning, 293. Hey, you're making 10 cents instead of losing 32. You better be trading higher. Berkshire Hathaway. So they are buying back shares in a big way. They were out there with their numbers over the weekend. They lost money, but posted an overall profit thanks to rising value in equities. Berkshire, they're up. They had a big buyback, too. I think it was like 9 billion shares. BRK.B, maybe. There we go. And there's your pop from 210 to about 222. A good morning for Mr. Warren Buffett. Some of the banks, too, just jumping around. Warren's got a huge position in Bank of America. And look at this pop, folks. In the bank world, you don't expect to see a $2. That's a 10% pop. In Bank of America, you're up $2.25 right now, almost a 10% pop in the banks, and you think that's good. How about JP Morgan? Check this out. Boom. Excuse me, we're up from $102.50 to like $10, $112.95 on JP Morgan. Strong numbers across the board as those banks react to a higher yield in a big way. All right, other news we got out there. Container Store, they're getting an upgrade. Nordstrom getting an upgrade to outperform from market reform. Let's jump to Nordstrom. JWN is their symbol. Look at this pop from 13 to 15.55. Points to the retailer's business model. Current valuation is positive factors, and they're up in a big way. GlaxoSmithKline, majority owned by Glaxo. So Vive Health, owned by Glaxo, said an injectable experimental treatment to prevent HIV infections in women is 89% more effective than daily pills. That Always nice to hear on a health front any good news. And let's see, some of the solar stocks could see a boost following Biden's presidency. Yeah, Canopy in particular. I mean, some of these cannabis stocks last week through the roof, right? From 18 to 25, you had Canopy growth. And this morning, we're looking to extend those gains to about 26.15 right now. And, man, this market, I mean, the NASDAQ, even the NASDAQ, look at this rebound. We were under 12,000. We're back to 12,231. Look at that rally from 730. The S&Ps are up 160 points, the Dow up 1,750, and the Russell just hanging there, up 7%. Jumping back to the NASDAQ real quick, I'll pull up some of these FANG stocks when we come back from the break. We had quite a little thrust to lower prices. I mean, some of the most notable work from homes, right? Zoom. Yeah, Zoom's down more than 10%. Not as many people going to be Zooming, folks, when we got out of this, but still, that's a strong company. I have some Zoom in my accounts. That's a strong company in the long run, but man, they are in a pullback right now, as you may expect. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back after the break.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as,
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
you see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Not sure if you've seen it, but markets are in positive territory this morning with the S&Ps up 4.5%. We get the NASDAQ now up 1.2%. The Russell stuck. Russell stuck at 7%. I'm getting a little confused. And we get the Dow just under 30,000. Pretty remarkable that we touched it to the point. Come on. For me, it's being slow. Man, these markets, unlike any other right now, folks. There we go. Now it's showing $29.99. What happened? You guys saw it. We had a 30,000 print. They just took it off the board. What happened there? We did have a 30,000 print at one point. Some of the other stocks. How about Disney shares? Accelerating higher, as you may expect. I mean, the world opens back up. Disney, they can't even open their parks in California right now. You're going to see a huge acceleration there. Uber, one of the other companies that's been hit hard in terms of their ride-hailing suffering. Last week, they got quite a boost on Prop 22 in California. I mean, Uber just traded from 33 to 49. You're talking about basically 50%. 50% Uber has gone up, folks, in 1 week. Remarkable action. Going to be nothing like this week, folks, that's for sure. And, as you may expect, they're talking about in the day, you got Boeing accelerating higher. If airlines are going to be flying, they're going to need to buy some planes. Boeing accelerating higher in a big way. And as I mentioned, Disney, they have their earnings this week, I believe. Let's pull them up. Earnings, they're coming out. Yes, November 12th, they're out, which is Thursday, I believe. Yes, Thursday. Disney out with their earnings. Be interesting to see what they have to say, how this all plays into things. Commodity-wise, one quick check before we wrap up the program. Got crude hanging on to gains of about 10% right now. Gold continuing to slide down about $72 off 3.7% today. Notes and bonds, pretty muted action since we made that first move. We got the 10-year yield above 0.9%. Remarkable action in a big way. And we'll finish it up with the VIX. Why not? Seems appropriate. 2380 on that VIX. Stay tuned, folks. We got our man Larry Pezzavento. It's coming up next with Trade What You See. I'll be back at 10 o'clock with some live programming all day at TFNN. Stay tuned, folks. Be right back.